Hi, it's Arlene here. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So today's a wonderful day. As you can hear, lawnmowers going at it. I'd wait till it's done, but every time I stop thinking it's over, it starts again. So bear with me. I'm outdoors and I need to do a cleanup. Get some plants in the planters and just overall make outside look wonderful. Because I'm going to be spending some time out here. We finally have a break in the weather and it's feeling really good. So I'm going to take you along and show you the things that I have to get done, and stick with me. As we take a walk through the side yard, you'll see I have bags of mulch and bags of soil that need to get dealt with. I also have empty pots that I need to fill with beautiful annuals, herbs, as well as some vegetables. It's all about container gardening out here for us folks. And just an overall cleanup and setup for backyard lounging and dining. This is what I need to take care of here. This flaking bits of paint that is now coming off the table. So that's a project there that I want to be able to fix. Yeah, not looking so good at all. So that's one project that I need to get out of the way, one task. So there you have it, a little bit of tidying up and sprucing up in the backyard so that I can relax and maybe do some entertaining during these summer months to come. Now the front porch isn't too bad. I just need a little work out here to pretty it up, clean everything up, tidy it all up. But the rust, there's rust on the mailbox. I really need to address that. It's not looking good at all, so I need to take care of that. As well as remove this MacGyver bird nesting deterrent. I'll need to address the flaking paint on this table. What I'm using is a scraper to scrape off all the loose paint so that the fresh paint will adhere well to the surface. So I'm just going to go around the areas and flake it all off. Now that I've done that, I'm just going to do a little bit of a tidy up to get rid of the loose paint off the ground. I'm just taking a look at my stash of black spray paint. I have 3 empty-ish tins. Yeah, there's not much in any of them. So they're all black, but they have different sheens. One is a semi-gloss flat as well as a satin. And the finish on the outdoor table is more of a satin finish. In order to use up the tins, I think I'll just start with the first coat being the semi-gloss. And then I'll maybe do a in-between coat of flat and finish up with the satin. Again, there's not much in each of these tins, so I want to use them up before I buy another one. In fact, I probably will need another tin. There is another piece of furniture that I want to spray paint, so in black and maybe likely a satin. So I will need to purchase another tin, but using these up first, I'll be happy about that. And so these are all Rust-Oleum brands. But make sure that you use an indoor/outdoor or an outdoor spray paint. A lot of them are both purposes, whether you use them for indoor or outdoor. So it's really good paint because it's you've got either option, and obviously with it being capable for being used outdoors, it's very weather resistant. So love that they're versatile in that manner. So stay tuned. I got some spraying to do. Now, before I get to the painting, I just want to do a quick wipe down of this table, all areas that I'm going to paint and areas that I'm not going to. I mean, it doesn't hurt for me to just get rid of all the dust and grime that's been sitting on the table during the winter season. So a quick wipe down will do, and just removing all the other chairs so no paint gets on that. I'm going to lay a large tarp down underneath the table so that no overspray ends up catching on any of my pavers.
Now, I could just say that I'm cleaning while I'm waiting for the paint to dry, but really, I love cleaning. I actually have another project that I need to do.
I had to venture out yesterday to pick up the spray paint, black as well as an aluminum for the mailbox that I need to repaint. And the COVID thing is, after lining up for quite some time, you'll get into stores, which is great. You can do some shopping without having to do everything online. But by the time you get to the items that you are looking for, it's slim pickings. For instance, I got my black paint, my black spray paint, but couldn't find any aluminum. It's at another store. So instead of going to that other store yesterday, because there was a lot of running around to do, I decided to stay at the store that I was at, but just to go to the garden center and see what I can scrounge up. Now, this was at Lowe's, and they did have Boston Fern for about $15, which was on sale. Great. And there was one left in a corner way off somewhere that I happened to spot on my way out of the store. So I cried a bit about the damaged planter. The base was a little damaged. I cried about it a bit and got a discount, 10%. Guess couldn't figure out the calculations, and maybe I got 90% off because it was about $2 that I paid for the Boston Fern. Yeah. Okay, not so bad, right? Good deal. COVID still sucks, but I got a good deal out of it, so I'm happy there. Broken pot.
The planter that I would like to use for the fern has 3 individual pots. So I'm going to split the fern into 3 almost equal. I tried my best to make sure that I split them equally into 3, which is going to be a bigger cost savings than what I originally paid for one plant. In a matter of 2 to 3 weeks, this fern could easily double or triple in size. So I have time and patience. It's still early in the growing season, and just the huge savings rather than buying 3 large plants, I'm going to have that in a matter of weeks.
Now, the other project that I wanted that black spray paint for is a sort of vintage retro round bamboo table that I picked up a few years back at a thrift store. I love me some thrift shopping. And I was using it indoors to have my plants on it. And now I no longer want it for that purpose. And I thought maybe I could actually use it outdoors, which I think would come in much more handy for resting your drinks on with some backyard entertaining. So I think I'm gonna do a little light sanding on it. It's in a natural, I guess a natural patina, or the natural color of the wood, and there is a slight sheen on it, so I think if I do a little light sanding, the paint would adhere to it nonetheless. So I'm gonna give that a go and let's see how it looks.
Welcome to my outdoor spraying area. I needed to do this outside. I don't have any space in the garage, and I really need a large surface to spray paint. So I've set up this tarp in the backyard on the pavers, and it's large enough to cover a pretty good square foot so that I don't get any overspray onto the pavers, which would be awful for cleanup. And you also want to make sure that it's not too windy outside, because you want to make sure that the spray is actually going to get on your surface and not get blown away in the wind. 3 coats of paint should cover the space pretty well, and I'm going to allow it to dry maybe 2 minutes in between each spray. While my side table base is drying, I'm going to start working on the mailbox. I want to be able to get rid of the rust spots that you saw earlier in the video. So I'm just going to remove it from the wall, and I'm going to spray paint it as I did with the table base. Using the same cleaning process as my outdoor table, I'm going to wipe down this mailbox with a damp cloth inside and out, removing all traces of dirt and dust. And then I'm going to follow with a paper towel to make sure that the mailbox is super dry before painting. I'm going to use some painter's tape just to cover up the keyhole and make sure that no overspray catches in there, and then I have a difficult time opening the mailbox. I'm using light sprays and I'm sure it'll be okay, but this is just a precautionary measure. Hey guys, I really want you to know how super hot it is back here in this backyard. So the mailbox, because it's metal, it's absorbing a lot of the heat. And what I am doing is taking the mailbox to the side of the house where it's a lot cooler so that it can dry properly in between each coat. So I just wanted to show you real quick that there is a strip on the inside of the mailbox that I want to tape off. It's like a protection or a bumper pad for when the lid opens and closes. It doesn't scratch underneath here. So I'm going to tape this off and then continue with the spray paint, catching this small section. There's a bit of a rust in there. So I'm going to get to it. I'm just using painter's tape to protect the padding from getting any paint on it. And because the painter's tape is a little wider than the padding, I'm just cutting it down to fit to size. So more cleaning to be done. I need to first dust off these little particles of leaves that has been crushed up into the corners of the chairs since they've been left outside this time. So there's little seedlings that's caught into the woven part of the chairs. So I'm just brushing that out before I start cleaning. And I'm just using mild liquid detergent. So just a few drops into the bucket, not super soapy. And then I'm just going to wash everything down. It's just my little ritual to make sure that I've gotten all the gunk off of them. They have been sitting outside all winter, and I just want to make sure that they are really super clean. And I'm just going to go through the same process with all the seat cushions, making sure that they get a thorough wipe down. Just a few more seat cushions to clean up here, and it looks like I might be overspraying a little bit with the water, but it's okay. It doesn't take long before they drip dry. I'm not quite ready to use the cushions yet, so in a day or so they should be extremely dry for me to use. And I'm just going to clean up the decorative cushions in the same manner, making sure that everything is completely clean. I've decided to use nail-on glides at the bottom of my side table so it's not sitting directly on the ground. My concern is if there's any standing water, any pool of water from rain, that my side table is not actually sitting directly in water. So I think if I use these glides, it's going to elevate it a little bit so that I feel that my furniture piece is being a little protected. And so what I'm going to do is tape off the areas so that I'm not going to split the wood before I drill my pilot hole. And using a smaller drill bit than the actual nail itself will ensure that when I hammer in the glide, it's going to fit into the hole super tight and there's no chance of it wiggling loose. Just so I don't damage my glides by using a hammer, I am using a rubber mallet to gently tap in each one of the glides in place. Now that the mailbox is dry, it's ready to go back in its place, and I was able to take it down before on my own, but I do need another set of hands to help with mounting it back into position to make sure that it goes on nice and leveled. So here we are. Finally, it's done, and I'm so excited to show you the little things that I've done in the backyard and in the front to just kind of spruce it up a bit. I am so excited to show you what I've done in the backyard as well as the front porch just to kick things up a notch. Putting a fresh coat of paint on things makes a big difference, as well as the tidy up. That is so major. So I'm excited. I hope you're excited to see the after. So why don't you come with me and let's see what I've done. Well, let me just show you what it looks like. And I wasn't aiming for perfection, and I don't know if you can see it,
but it looks pretty good. It looks pretty good. It's going to be covered by glass, so the fact that I didn't have to make sure that it was perfectly smooth, it looks great, don't you think? It looks really, really good. So here's the other side here. Again, you can't really tell, which is awesome. It really is just more of a cosmetic cover-up, and the fact that it did exactly what I wanted to do was just hide what was flaking underneath. The bare metal, it worked perfectly. Yay, it's reveal time. I finally get to show you guys the backyard. I'm so super excited that it's actually done and I can get to enjoy the space. I've got some herbs planted, some thyme, scallions, scotch bonnet. All the perennials are growing in nice and lush with all the green variations and pops of color with these planted annuals. It's so necessary for backyard space. It just brings some color into the space, just makes the whole place just come alive, the whole backyard just come alive. And as you can see, my little table looking sweet, looking so sweet back here. It's time to just chill. The work is done and I can appreciate the backyard space. I have one more reveal to show you, and that's the front porch. Now, what did I tell you about annuals? Look at the gorgeous colors in these baskets. Now, I actually selected these individual annuals and created these wonderful baskets bursting full of color. If you're interested in knowing what I planted, I've actually included the information down below. And just like the backyard, transforming the front was just with minimal effort. It didn't take a lot of time at all. It was mainly cleanup and just adding these beautiful annuals. The ferns are in place and doing well. And plants just make a big difference to outdoor spaces. I could have really gone overboard and added some more power flower, but I think I'm going to try to have some self-restraint. Look at the mailbox. It looks 100% better than the rusty old mailbox before. And look at this. The MacGyvered bird nesting deterrent is removed. Yay, out here is ready. If you enjoyed watching this outdoor space come together, please like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss out on any new upcoming videos. See you next time.